Just 9 minutes ago, Jungkook's shocking move left millions of armies around the world struck in silence.
But why?
What exactly happened?
Dan.
Why did Taehyung finally speak up after 23 minutes had passed? Just 9 minutes ago. Jungkook's surprise move hits army? BTS News Today. 23 minutes ago, Taehyung spoke up. Is this just a misunderstanding, or is this really a signal that cannot be ignored? Is this the end of Jungkook's army sincerity? Or is this just the beginning of something more serious? Question after question sprang up like an explosion of emotions that could not be contained. To his surprise, Taehyung finally opened his voice after 23 minutes of silence. His words made the wound feel deeper. While the world was still embracing the residual warmth from Jungkook's last interaction on the social platform, in the last 9 minutes, everything changed drastically. Jungkook, the golden magne who has always been loved, hailed, and a symbol of sincerity, took a step that the army never imagined. One action, which made thousands of comments flow like a flood. But not an amazed or happy comment. It is precisely the comments of heartbreak, disappointment, and confusion. What exactly did Jungkook do? A short video, no longer than 6 seconds, appeared on his official account. No sound, just a look, blank stare, unusual look, a voice that seems to want to speak, but can't. And at the end of the video, he walks away, without a word, without a single caption. But for the army who knew him by heart, it wasn't just a video. It was a message. And the message feels like a goodbye. Army reacted quickly. Is Jungkook going on hiatus? Is this a signal that he is giving up on something? What makes him look so desperate? Comment after comment flowed like an inaudible scream. And behind all that emotional commotion, Taehyung, who is usually full of mystery, finally appears. Exactly 23 minutes after the video was uploaded, Taehyung uploaded a single black and white photo. A hand holding something, a friendship bracelet that has been worn by BTS members during joint promotions. And the caption? Don't blame him. He's just trying to survive. That sentence silenced the world. The sentence burned all theories. That sentence opened a deeper wound. Had Jungkook been holding back something he couldn't reveal even to the army? Is it about pressure? Is this about a split? Or is it about a loss he can no longer bear? Many speculated that Jungkook's sudden decision to delete all previous posts 2 days ago was the first sign. But the army chose not to worry. He just wants space, they say. But today's move makes it all can no longer be ignored. More surprisingly, a longtime staffer from BTS's production team anonymously gave a statement that makes anyone's heart beat erratically. During the last recording, Jungkook locked himself in for 3 hours. We think he just needs time. But after that day, he never came back the same way. This statement provoked a wave of theories and unrest. What is the pressure of a solo project? Or is it related to an internal conflict that has been hidden? And Taehyung, why does he have to say that? He's just trying to survive. Those words aren't something Taehyung would say for no reason. Those words carry a weight, have meaning, and have injuries. Is Jungkook experiencing something darker than what we can imagine? As millions of army members tried to interpret the meaning behind Jungkook's blank stare, a large fanbase account revealed that over the past week, Jungkook no longer answered messages from fellow members, even from Jimin, who is known as his closest friend. Jimin looked glum when asked about Jungkook yesterday, they wrote. And now all this happened. Is this just a temporary emotional phase? Or is this the beginning of something much more worrying? Many remember when Jungkook said in an interview a few months ago, "I always look strong, but sometimes I just want to disappear." That sentence is now coming back to haunt, and ARMY, who has always stood by BTS's side, now feels giddy. No one knows what to say. No one can fully understand what's going on. But one thing is certain, something is broken. And it's not just speculation. That is a reality that now hangs in the air.
Gripping. Stifling.
Dan, it hurts at what's really going on behind the scenes. Why should Taehyung be the only one to speak up? Where's Jimin? Where's Jin? Do they also know something that they cannot yet reveal? And the most heartbreaking, is this the end of the togetherness that we have been holding tight as a family as the army continues to search for answers? Only one thing can be done. Wait. But waiting in this kind of uncertainty was a torment that no one expected. Jungkook, where are you now? And why did you choose to be silent when we were all waiting for one word from you? Only one. I'm fine. But the word never came. And time goes on. Moments feel like a burden. Armies stared at their screens, hoping the video was just part of the concept. But their hearts know it's more than just content. This is an unfinished silent scream. And your surprise move, Jungkook, has made our world crack in an instant. Are you going back to talking? Or have you given up in secret? But the question is no longer what happened, but it has expanded to, what have we been missing as an army? Because if such a small step, one short video without sound, is able to make the hearts of millions of people feel like they have stopped, it means that Jungkook has become more than just an idol. It is part of the home, part of the breath, part of the life that many people hang their spirits on it. But the house now feels empty. And even more painful, his departure was not accompanied by a goodbye. Some fans wrote that they cried after watching the video. Not because of the visuals, not because of the effect, but because of the aura behind the calm that is actually too painful to let go. He walked like someone who had given up, one soldier wrote. It was not a confident move. It's the step of someone who is leaving something he loves. Is it possible that Jungkook is mentally exhausted? Or is it a form of silent protest against something that is happening within the system that has been raising it? There are many possibilities, and the scariest of them all is none of the answers were confirmed, and the public continues to churn. In less than an hour, Jungkook's name instantly became the #1 trending on various social platforms worldwide. But this is not a happy trend. It's a quiet trend, trending filled with prayers, fears, and feelings of guilt. Are we demanding too much from him? Ask a fan who has supported BTS since the beginning. Have we been too busy encouraging him without really listening? Even more surprising, Big Hit's official account has not released a single statement. No clarification. No announcement. Just silence. A silence that makes everything even more piercing. And silence like this, it often hurts more than any confession. Because by being silent, it means that they cannot or do not want to explain what really happened. Meanwhile, some army tried to find other meanings. There are those who disassemble the color code of the short video. Someone dissected his footsteps. Some even try to read the expression of his eyes by comparing his old photos. All this is done for the sake of one thing: hope. Hope that this is just part of something bigger. Maybe a teaser? Maybe a concept album? But in the depths of their hearts, they know it's not about promotion. It's about feelings. About conditions. Someone who can no longer speak in words. And now, only his expression was left to translate his sadness. Then the question arises again. Does it have anything to do with the secret meeting that supposedly took place a few days ago between BTS members? According to an insider who was previously accurate about their enlistment schedule, there have been emotional conversations between the members, and one of them was called out early from the room with puffy eyes. No one calls names. But after this video was uploaded, many believed it was Jungkook. What was discussed at the meeting? Are there any major decisions to be made? Or rather already taken? Did Jungkook choose to step down? Or is he giving a code that he won't be back anytime soon? And Taehyung, why did you choose to say that? Why is it you, not other members who appear more often in public? Do you know something we don't? Is your sentence a plea for understanding, not judgment? As ARMY tries to recall the sweet moments of Jungkook and Taehyung's past interactions, a heartrending sense of contrast emerges. Two inseparable friends now seem to be walking on two different paths. In the past, they often laughed together, composed songs together, shared little secrets that brought fans to tears. But today, one disappeared, another wrote a message like lost. And Jimin, where are you? You have always been a counterweight. You are the one who always hugs them in silence. Are you okay? Are you hurt in a different way? Why haven't you spoken up? Or are you also struggling with the same thing? This atmosphere is like a silent storm. Everyone felt something crack, but do not know what. Everyone felt something was missing, but do not know how to restore it. And in the midst of it all, Jungkook still hasn't spoken. Not with sound, not with writing, only with steps and a gaze too heavy to translate. Then, will this be the end of an era? Is this a sign that Jungkook, the figure who has been the pivot of much of ARMY's happiness, is walking off the stage not as an artist, but as a tired human being? The ARMY can now only unite in one repetitive phrase: "We love you no matter what." But is that enough? Is love alone enough to heal someone who has kept a wound for too long? And in the hours since the silent video appeared, the fandom world felt like the earth was losing its axis. And although there was no official statement on the part of the agency, pressure after pressure continued to build up an unbearable atmosphere. Even the international media began to glance at this event as something much bigger than just the usual content of an idol. They call it the silent rebellion. The term came about because of one thing: Jungkook's step was not an ordinary step. That's not a promotion. That's not a teaser. It is not part of the concept art or visual campaign. It was a message that is not in the form of words, but louder than a scream. He walks away from the camera, slowly, unhurriedly, but with a weight that can be felt by anyone watching that we are talking about a person who has always been a source of passion. Someone who dances with fire on stage, who sings with light in his eyes, who laughs until the world laughs with him. But now, the world saw him walking with his back bowed, as if he was abandoning a part of himself. That's when the speculation started to get wild. Did Jungkook just have a conflict with management? Or is it related to the internal pressure of the music project that he has been secretly working on? There were even unsubstantiated rumors that he had asked for a postponement of the comeback schedule, and the request was denied. Then, what about Taehyung's role in all of this? As ARMY is in a whirlpool of grief, a post from Taehyung appears that adds coals to the fire of worry. The sentences are short, ambiguous, and make thousands of theories appear in just over an hour. He wrote, "Don't blame him. We all realize too late." What does too late to notice mean? Have all of them, even fellow members, not really seen the burden Jungkook is carrying? Does this lead to something darker? A warning that's been ignored for too long. To make matters worse, Taehyung turned off his comment column a few minutes after the post went viral. And we all know that's not Taehyung's style. He was the most open person with the ARMY, but this time he chose to close. Stay away. Withdraw from the increasingly flooded questioning crowd. Meanwhile, fans around the world began rallying for gated campaigns. Hashtag We Hear You Jungkook and hashtag Don't Walk Alone JK. Within 24 hours, more than 8 million tweets flooded X, Twitter. The ARMY no longer asks for music. They don't force appearances anymore. They want only one thing: the certainty that Jungkook can still see the world with trusting eyes, because that's what broke. His gaze in the video was not the artist's gaze, not the performer. The eyes of someone who has lost their way, as if to say, "I tried, but what I feel, you never saw it." Some call Jungkook's steps like the steps of someone who has just made a big decision. Some say it was a veiled farewell. Even some international fans compared the video to Jungkook's expression when BTS announced their hiatus, and they found one striking thing. At the time, Jungkook was still trying to smile. But now, he didn't smile at all. At the time of writing, there were unverified reports that Jungkook had missed an important meeting scheduled with the producer for a solo project. Rumors arose that he went to an as yet unknown place, not accompanied by staff, not guarded by a manager, accompanied by only one confidant. Who? Nobody knows. But for sure, it's not from the agency. Now the question is getting more and more gripping. Will Jungkook really step down? Is this his way of saying he's tired? That the world he had been in love with began to turn into a world that drowned him? Is that a step out? And if it does, are we, as a nation, ready to face this reality? Amidst all the speculation, one old fanbase account, one known to be close to BTS, Activity Moves came up with something that left everyone frozen. Jungkook has spoken, but we're all too busy waiting for him to sing. The sentence burns.
Tearing.
Because it really is. Maybe we focus too much on asking for work, asking for schedules, asking for energy, but forget that behind all that there are human beings who also have pain, have limits. As time went on, there was no news from the agency, no explanation from other members. And this makes the whole thing even more unbearable. Because in that silence, the wound actually grows faster. ARMY is waiting. Waiting for news. Waiting for a clarification video. Waiting for someone, anyone, to raise their voice and say, he's fine. But until this moment, no sound. And if this is all a call for help from Jungkook, then the question has changed. Are we coming too late?